Hey everybody, this is Beauty Holly coming at you with another What's for Dinner. Today I am cooking meatloaf and greens and mashed potatoes for dinner tonight. So we're going to start with the meatloaf first, and as you can see, let me get a little bit closer. I have some ground beef. Now I'm not going to use that whole package. I'm going to cut that in half, freeze the other part, and use one half of that. I have some Worcestershire sauce, 2 eggs. I have Hunt's sauce and barbecue sauce, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with these two. I also have the dinner starter seasoned tomato sauce for meatloaf. Y'all, this is really good for meatloaf. I really, really like that. I have some Italian breadcrumbs, Lowry seasoning, garlic salt and regular salt, and then I have garlic powder, onion powder, and black pepper. So, and also I have my bell pepper and my onions already chopped up. So these are the ingredients for my meatloaf, and what we're going to do now is we're going to get started and get everything put together. So I'll be right back. Okay everyone, I have my meat in the bowl. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add the bell peppers and my onions. And make sure you chop your bell peppers up as small as you can, because you don't want them to be crunchy in your meatloaf. Y'all, I think I'm coming down with a cold, so please excuse me when I'm clearing my throat. I know that can be annoying, but I think I'm coming down with a little cold. Okay, so we have the bell peppers and onions in the meat. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add our, going to add 2 eggs. Can you see my eggs? We're going to add 2 eggs. And normally what I do is I just add everything and then mix. Okay, so now we're going to add, well, I didn't open up my cans. Hold on one second. Okay, so we're going to add the, I don't think you can see that. We're going to add the dinner starter for the tomato with the, dinner starter seasoned tomato sauce for the meatloaf. So we're going to go ahead and add that. And I'm going to put a little water in the can to get the rest of the tomato sauce out. We're going to pour that in there. Okay. And now we're going to go ahead and start adding, well, let me go ahead and add my breadcrumbs. And y'all, I eyeball everything. Meatloaf was one of the first things I learned how to cook when I was younger. When I first got married or when I was at home with my mom, meatloaf was one of the first things I learned how to cook. So I eyeball everything. So we're going to put some salt. We're going to try some Lowry seasoning. Okay, garlic salt. Some Worcestershire sauce, and I used to kind of like to shake this up some. Like I say, I eyeball everything. Okay, we're going to do some, well, we're not going to do the garlic powder since I had the garlic salt, so we're going to go ahead and do I'm so sorry, y'all, I'm losing my voice. We're going to go ahead and use some onion powder. I'm not going to use the garlic powder since I used the garlic salt. And we're going to use black pepper. So what I'm going to do is wash my hands before I put my hands all in this meat. Make sure you take off all your jewelry, your wedding rings and everything, because that meat will get in your rings. So hold on one second. Okay, so the next step is to mix. I'm going to get this in here and just mix everything together. Don't be afraid, just get in here and just mix it all together. Incorporate everything. Now, from the looks of this, what I need to do is add some more, I'm going to add some more breadcrumbs. And probably a little bit more seasoning, just to make sure I have enough seasoning. So what I'm going to do is stop, and because as you can see, it's pretty well incorporated. And you got everything together. And that's what you want. This is what you want, to have that consistency to make a loaf. Not even need any more breadcrumbs, but I'm going to put just a tad bit more breadcrumbs in here. So hold on, let me wash my hands again. Okay, so I'm going to add just a tad bit more breadcrumbs. And again, these are seasoned Italian style breadcrumbs. And I'm going to add a little bit more salt. I think I'm just going to add salt and pepper. Hold on. I don't want it too salty. Maybe some Lowry seasoning. Yeah, I think that's going to be enough. I don't want to take any, I don't want it to be too salty. So you just make sure got everything incorporated. And then basically just start forming it into a loaf in the bowl if you can. Just kind of get it formed in here. Now let me get my pan out and then I'll show you what the next step is. So I'm going to spray my pan and we're going to pour this in here. Or not pour, but try to get it in here the best way we can. Okay. So just form it back into a loaf. Okay. Yeah, I really do apologize for my voice being like this, but I guess I'm getting a cold. I don't know exactly what's going on, but okay. So, here's the loaf. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and stick this in the oven. My oven is preheated to 350 degrees. I'm going to let this meatloaf bake for about an hour. And then I'm going to come back and show you what I'm going to put on top of the meatloaf. So I will see you in a little bit. Thanks. Okay, y'all. So I am back with my greens, on how I cook my greens. Now, these are basically the seasonings I use for my greens. I have a little sugar. I put just a little bit of sugar to kind of get rid of the bitterness. Garlic powder, onion powder, Slap Your Mama seasoning, Lowry's seasoning, salt, pepper. And these are two seasonings that I have incorporated in my recipe within the last couple of years. Sylvia's Great Green Seasoning is a real good product. The only thing with this is it sticks inside the container. So you always have to kind of go in and unstick it and use it. I always check for the date on here. And this is not, this doesn't expire until 2/27/16. So I don't know why the product sticks inside here, but it does. And that's the only thing I really don't like about it. But as far as the taste, it tastes really good in my greens. And so this is Sylvia's greens. And I usually get this at my local grocery store. And this is another seasoning, Heritage Fare. We take You Back Home seasoning. This is okay. I think I like Sylvia's better. This is what this looks like here. And let me see if I can get Sylvia's open so you can see what she looks like. Hold on one second. Well, you can kind of see in the container right there. It's kind of a light base seasoning, light in color. And that's what that looks like. So right now, what I have boiling are some ham shanks. I either use ham hocks or ham shanks. It doesn't matter. And these are the smoked kind. So this is boiling. So mainly what I'm going to do now is add my seasonings and everything in the water. Oh, you know what? I forgot one seasoning. Hold on one second. Okay, y'all. The one seasoning that I forgot is red pepper. I usually add the crushed red pepper in my greens as well. So while the meat is cooking, I usually just go ahead and add my seasonings because I just want it to all be incorporated in the water, because this is what the water that I'm gonna put my greens in, of course. So I usually just go ahead and season my water and let all that marinate and incorporate in the water. So I'm gonna add a little bit of Slap Your Mama's seasoning salt. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and add some crushed red peppers. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add Sylvia's seasoning. Okay, let me go ahead and add some black pepper. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and season up my water because it'll already be seasoned and ready for the greens to get in. So that's how I do that. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and add a little onion powder and garlic powder. I don't add a lot, just a little bit. Okay. And of course, my secret ingredient is sugar. I got this from my mom, and it just calms down the bitterness of the greens. You don't want to add too much because you don't want any sweet greens, you know. So let me stir this up. Hold on one second. Find a spoon here. And just kind of mix all this together. So I'm going to let this cook down just a little bit more. Let everything get incorporated and marinate together. And then I'm going to add the star of the show, which are the greens. And I use, and let me show you my greens that I'm using today. I use Glory. Let's see, can you see that? Ooh, no, you can't. Let me see. Let me go back this. Oh, no, you can't see it. Okay. Glory flat mustard greens. Mustard greens are my favorite. I like the flavor of mustard greens. Just they taste like greens. You know, I like turnip and I like collard, but mustard greens are the best to me. I love mustard greens. And you know what, y'all? I just figured that out like a year or so ago. You know, because I was thinking that they all taste the same, turnip, collard, and mustard, but they don't. And as old as I am, you would think I wouldn't have known that, but I didn't. And so I realized a couple of years, last year or maybe year before, that I love mustard greens better than turnip and collard. So this is what I'm using today. Okay, so again, we're going to go ahead and just let this marinate, let this boil maybe about another 10 or 15 minutes, and then we're going to stick the greens in. And I usually let the greens cook probably about, oh, it just depends, maybe 30, 40 minutes at the most. I don't let them cook down. I don't let them cook long, you know. So about, I'm going to say about 40 minutes. I'm going to let them cook. Okay, so we're going to let this boil another few minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, and then I'm going to put the greens in it, and I'll come back and show you what everything, come back and show you what they look like. So I'll see you in a little while. Hey everybody, I am back. I just put my greens in. What I did was I went ahead, the bag says ready to serve, washed and ready to serve, but you know, I'm old school. I still went in and rinsed them out, rinsed them really good, and before I put them in here, and then I put them in the water. Ooh, excuse me, I'm so sorry. Wow, I don't know if I'm gonna post this video. Okay, so I have my greens in, and it's going to take about 40 minutes for them to cook, about 40. And alongside with the meatloaf and the greens, I'm also going to make some Idaho loaded baked mashed potatoes. And so I didn't feel like cutting up potatoes today, and my family loves this. So, and it's ready in a few minutes. So, y'all should try these. They have these in different, like they have them in herb butter. They have them in just different flavors. And this is the one that we really like. We like loaded mashed potatoes. And I usually add sour cream and all that when I make it from scratch. And I usually add sour cream and cheese and bacon bits and just make it loaded mashed potatoes. But so with this, what I do is I'll add some bacon bits and maybe some chives if I have some, and just kind of dress it up a little bit. But yeah, this is a good alternate if you don't want to cut up potatoes. Alrighty, so y'all, everything is on and cooking. The house is smelling good. My kids gonna be happy when they get home, especially the baby. Even my grown folks, they get home from work, they love to smell food cooking. They greedy. We greedy around here. But anyway, I will be back in about 40 minutes. So I'll see you then. Bye. Hey everybody. I wanted to show you what I'm going to put on top of my meatloaf in just a few minutes. This is a little concoction I done came up with. But anyway, it's a half a can of this tomato sauce. I didn't use it all. Some Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. This is the only barbecue sauce I will eat. This is the best barbecue sauce ever. Just to put that out there. And then I used just a little bit of mustard. Just a little bit of mustard. And basically what I did was I just mixed all this together, and I'm just going to spread this on top of my meatloaf. Okay, and just let you see my greens. They are coming along very nicely. I don't know if you can see it. The shanks have, the meat have come off the bones, so they're doing it's doing really well. And they've been cooking for almost 40 minutes. So, yeah. So that's what that's looking like. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on top of my meatloaf. Let it cook for another 2 minutes. And put my potatoes on. And I will be back to show you our dinner for the night. Hey everybody. So the dinner is completed. And this is the final results. We got some greens, some mashed loaded potatoes, and some meatloaf. And so this is what it looks like.
Okay.
Alrighty. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.
Bye.